Greetings, Ventures. This is Lauren, your guild advisor, and I know it's been quite some time since my last video. I apologize for that, but it was a nice little break from making videos. I've adjusted my lifestyle a little tiny bit, so I actually get more sleep nowadays, so I feel a lot better. I got my first dose of the vaccine the other day. I was gonna make a video about something over the weekend, but that's when I got my first dose. And then the next day I had like this lingering headache the entire time. I didn't feel like doing anything, but here we are now into the midst of 4th anniversary stuff for DanMemo's. So again, I'm more of a type of casual player in DanMemo now, but of course I can't miss the 4th anniversary stuff, and it looks like we have some exciting things to look forward to. And then danmachi in general has been a bit sparse in content because the latest translated official volume was volume 15 all the way back last year in November, I believe. So, and we're still waiting on volume 16 in July, and volume 17 just came out in Japan. So we still need to catch up, and I'm very looking forward to volume 16 in July and dodging all the spoilers that I possibly can. And that includes like staying away from stuff like the danmachi subreddit and the wiki. So hopefully those things get closer, and of course I'll be making a review for that light novel release when volume 16 releases in July. But anyway, we gotta talk about DanMemo's. So lots of news. First up, we have the last of the Labyrinth City collection of voting units to be revealed, this one being Belle. The result for the most popular outfit was the design of him in the salamander cloak holding the Odea's sword, which is the pretty much the last episode of the first season where he uses that Odea's sword against the Black Goliath. And a lot of us, when we were voting on Hestia, Eyes, and Belle, I think as far as like North America voted, we all voted for like the Shota or the Lolly, the kid-like characters, and the main reasoning for that, I think for most people, was because we didn't have the units at the time, the Horario Academia units, where they had that Children's Day event in Japan, but recently we got reruns of those characters, so we're all good now. We got those reruns, we got double Lolly, Eyes, and Hestia. We didn't get necessarily the Shota Belle, but I think what we did get is very appropriate because it matched up really nicely. And of course I'm talking about the Gleaming Fraise Belle, and they based his pose on the Argonaut design. If you don't remember Argonauts, or if you're newer to the game, Argonaut was the event for the 2nd anniversary, and it's very much hinting towards Argonaut being reincarnated into Belle, like with all the parallels between their two struggles. And this just really hammers in that fact, copying the pose to make this unit, which is really cool seeing them side by side. And we'll go over Belle's stats and abilities really quick. Again, I'm a bit more casual now, so don't really listen to my advice for competitive things, but while I will comment a little tiny bit on it. He'll be a physical attacker with a maximum strength of 2086, decent speed of 1056, maximum break, max hero ascension. And before we get into these skills, the translations are provided by Simham on the DanMemo subreddit. I will leave a link to that in the video description. Special arts is a AoE ultralight physical attack with a great strength boost and high penetration rate, and removes status buffs excluding assist skills. And for his combat skills, the first skill costs 48 MP, and it's an AoE mid-light physical attack with a temporary strength boost and ultra uncounter rate, and reduces enemy light resistance by 40%, and increases Belle's own strength and light attack damage by 65% for 5 turns. So a lot of stuff happening in that first skill. And for his second skill, it costs 54 MP, and it is an AoE fast high light physical attack with a temporary strength boost, and removes physical resistance and magic resistance buffs excluding assist skills, and regenerates 30% of your allies' HP at the end of the turn. So a very nice high priority attack for a game mode like War Games, especially if your opponent is using characters that buff their physical resistance or magic resistance, and plus you gain the benefit of a nice heal at the end of the turn. And as for skill 3, it costs 37 MP, and it is a single target, super light, physical attack that will increase in damage by 50% for each light resistance debuff on the opponent, and also has a high critical rate. And remember, one of Belle's skills reduces your enemy's light resistance, so that helps with the multiplier, along with having an assist that can help with that as well. And as for his notable passives, remember every single Belle unit is immune to Charm, and he has 35% bonus to arc resistance and the Ox Slayer ability, so does bonus damage against Ox type enemies. And he is the main character for this Anniversary Eve type of event, very similar to Reminiscence from last year, where it's basically like summarizing like a lot of the events that lead up into the 4th anniversary certain memoirs under the sky. And this event should start tomorrow night. Remember, most of the times included in the slides they give us are based on Japanese Standard Time, so tomorrow night, Wednesday, May 26th, is when the majority of this stuff should start. And by clearing through the event, you can get a memoir exchange ticket, which allows you to draw from a past 4-star guarantee 11 draw of your choice. And it looks like all the battle quests will also have a EX high difficulty, and if you complete these quests on EX difficulty, you'll get nice rewards like Hero Light and a 4-star guarantee 11 draw ticket. So I guess I have some reason to try and optimize my stuff. And as you can see here, this is the timeline for the various events that will be summarized through, like you see Astrea Records, Sparkling Summer Carnival, and so forth and so on. Then on the right, we have the different gachas that you can use that memoir exchange ticket on. So you can use that to get a 4-star guarantee 11 draw on any one of these, like part 1 through 3 of Astrea Record, and so on and so forth. So if there's a unit that you didn't get or missed, you can try and get it that way, or maybe there's that last limit break that you need. That's another opportunity for you to get it now. And one interesting thing they said here is that throughout this like summary event thing, there will be a new character that will appear that's related to the 4th anniversary event. So it looks like this is something I can't necessarily skip, because I've seen the majority of these stories. I'm gonna have to like go through with a fine-tooth comb. Okay, like who's the new character that's related to this? And I think I discussed this before, but I was thinking like we have been using these past 2 anniversary events, Argonaut and Astrea Record, to dive deeper into the danmachi lore. Like those 2 things are really based on the past, and hopefully that's just what we keep doing. I know Omori Sensei, the author of the danmachi light novels, has said in one of the afterwords in the danmachi series that when he does complete the original main series, he's thinking about writing something about Zeus and Hera Familia, like that story. And that's something I'd really like to see, like, possibly here. I've also said before that we know about the 3 great quests. That would be the subjugation of the Behemoth, the Leviathan, and the Black Dragon. We know a lot about 2 of them because the Black Dragon is being built up to be pretty much to, like, the very end of danmachi, like the end goal, defeating the Black Dragon. Behemoth, we had a pseudo type of Behemoth in the 1st anniversary event called Grand Day, and we also had some more context behind it because apparently Zard, who is a character from Zeus Familia that appeared in the Astrea Record, was the person that defeated Behemoth. And then that leaves the last thing, Leviathan, which is something that's referenced in Sword Oratoria Volume 6 and also in the adaptation of Volume 6 that appeared earlier in the year, or I guess the past year, that was adapted into the game. And we know besides Hera and Zeus Familia, Poseidon Familia also helped defeat Leviathan. So I'd be very interested if we might actually see Poseidon Familia in this, if we get a Leviathan related event, but we'll just have to see. And of course, and I love how they place these slides together, like a new character will appear and then the first person they reveal is Zard. But I wouldn't think too much on Zard. And then Althea, which I'll show later, they're getting reappearance, new units, and they're both happier in these too, which is nice. But Zard and Althea appearing here, I wouldn't read too much into it because we had the same type of thing last year with Reminiscence event, where we had new versions of Argonaut and Athena who appeared in the previous anniversary. So it's just the same thing repeating here. Characters in the previous anniversary getting new versions here during the next anniversary's eve. So don't read too much into Zard and Althea appearing again, though I really do want to see more of danmachi's past in this 4th anniversary event. But anyway, we have a new Zard unit, the Entruster. He will be a physical attacker with a max strength of 2119, pretty slowish speed compared to other units at 892. And his special arts, it's an AoE Ultra Fire physical attack with a great temporary strength boost and a strength and magic debuff of 50%, and also increases its own strength by 100%, and also its physical and magic resistance by 50%. Typo there, it's a plus 50% for 2 turns. So a ton of debuffs and buffs from his special arts. And for its combat skills, his first skill costs 41 MP and gives your allies a plus 40% strength buff and a plus 50% fire attack damage buff, all those for 5 turns. It also gives him plus 3 additional actions of a AoE mid-fire physical attack, and I think this is the first time we have an additional action, which is an action that takes place after the use of a other skill. And I think this is the first time that it's a mid-level power attack rather than just like a low. So bit of a power creep happening now. Part of the reason why I'm casual and don't spend money anymore. And for his second skill, it costs 31 MP and is an AoE slow high fire physical attack with a temporary strength boost, and increases the AoE damage received by your opponents by 35% for 2 turns. And as for his third skill, it costs 56 MP and it's an AoE super fire physical attack with a temporary strength boost and has a 50% chance to taunt, and also increases the status debuff duration of your opponents by 1 turn. So honestly, it's a pretty insane last skill, like a super base power attack, 50% chance to taunt, and extends your opponent's debuff duration. That's a pretty stacked skill. And as for his notable passives, he has a plus 35% wind resistance, a bonus 20% damage on critical hits if he has a 2-handed sword equipped, and why wouldn't you? And his counters heal for 60% of the damage dealt by the counter attack, and also decreases your opponent's strength by 45% for 2 turns. Mind you, the Zard units from last year in Astrea record, his counter ability was his counters heal 50% of the damage dealt, and that was it. This is 60%, and also decreases your opponent's strength. So quite a change in power here, going from year to year. Next unit, Entrusted Sound Althea, and she looks beautiful. Like last year, Althea, her eyes were closed most of the time. She opened them during the story. You see her heterochromia, the one green eye and one grayish whitish eye. She looks great. For those of you who don't know, this is a very minor spoiler for like the epilogue of Astrea record from last year. So if you don't want to hear me say this, skip like 10 seconds. But Althea is Belle's aunt, so really cool and very sad at the same time. Like knowing this, I'm wondering when Belle might find this out. He deserves to know. Anyway, Althea. Her max magic at max limit break, max hero ascension is at 2025, has a pretty good speed at 1106. For her special arts, it's an AoE ultralight magic attack with a temporary great magic boost and ultra penetration rate, and a 50% chance to seal your opponents. So between skill 1 and skill 2, Althea should be doing a lot of damage and also helping any magic teams you may have as well. And for her third skill, it's pretty much a slapped on single target skill if you need it. It costs 40 MP. It's a single target super light magic attack with a great magic boost. And then for the notable passive, she does 60% extra damage on her counters, has a bonus 35% dark resistance, does 20% more damage on penetrations. Penetrate me please, Althea. And also on her counter attack, she can add 1 magic nullification and also remove your opponent's magic buffs, excluding assist skills. So the translation wasn't exactly clear on the magic nullification. I think it just applies to her, because if it applied to like your entire party, I think that would be specified a bit more. But read up on the skill when she comes out tomorrow night. And then this is the gacha banner. Like, seeing this image makes me really happy, because it's Belle, Althea, and Zard all together in one image. But this is the banner. Like, this is why I said it's strangely appropriate that that specific outfit of Belle was the one that was voted on the most and got included into the game, because it just looks so appropriate here. Because if the child Belle won, I guess that would also be appropriate in a way. Anyway, and for different reasons, but it looks cool like this as well. But this is your standard time limited banner with the guarantee 4-star of the banner on your first, 4th, 7th, and 10th draws. And remember, this is the anniversary eve gacha, so this is like a bait banner before the actual anniversary starts. And remember, last year, Astrea Record was the longest anniversary event we ever had, and we had a ton of banners. There was 3 different parts, plus an extra epilogue portion that had Zard and Althea on it. But they should be giving out a lot of Iris as well, but also make sure you're keeping up a stockpile at the same time, because I'm sure we're going to get a considerable amount of units in this as well. And then this is also super cute, and maybe this is the real reason why I'm glad that this specific version of Belle got the nod and not the child one, because Belle, Zard, and Althea have a special combination attack together if you use special arts of theirs all at the same time. And unfortunately, this isn't really something that you would normally use when playing the game competitively, like for Familia Rush and stuff like that. But it's just cool to see the special animation. They showed it on the stream, and I can link that in the video description. But it's so appropriate to see Belle. It's like Zard and Althea are gone, like 2 of the top dogs from Zeus and Hera Familia, and here's Belle kind of like inheriting their will in a way, and then being the next hero from that descent. And descent, for those of you that don't know the epilogue of Astrea Record, please read it. Please experience that. And there will be an heroic trial, so you can get an extra bond for a character of your choice of the 3. So make sure you grind up for that and get one of those bonds. And we're gonna have a lot of rerun gachas. So if there's a character that you're missing, or if there's that last limit break that you need, this is your opportunity to try and get it. Here's the schedule. I'm not gonna read through everything, but you can see like all the gacha banners that we've experienced over the past year here. It's almost like watching your life flash before your eyes, like the last year. Kind of an interesting experience. There's that last banner, Althea, Zard, and Erebus. That was so exciting, because that was like my favorite banner because of what it meant for DanMemo. Because previously we never really had a true original character get a unit. Because Argonaut didn't really count, because they all resembled like characters we already knew, so it was like a half step. But we got like actual units for characters made for DanMemo, Althea, and Zard, and Erebus. When we actually got those as actual units, that like finally meant that DanMemo was finally actually making new characters, and not just like a bunch of characters we already know, like multiple versions of Hestia and Eyes and Lethea and Lily. Like, we actually got brand new spanking characters and made specifically for DanMemo, and it was so cool. Anyway, enough gushing over that. And this is the Astrological Festival gacha. It's basically a paid gacha, and if you're familiar with previous things like this, you can select like 3 different characters from a selection that you can see right here. And then when you use your paid Iris, you're guaranteed like one of those 3 characters. So if you have extra money to spend for some reason, and you really need like a specific character, you have a 33% chance to get said character if you want one specifically. Really bad odds if you ask for my opinion, but that's a thing you can do. And then Of course, during the 4th anniversary eve, we'll have a login bonus for up to 500 iris. So I guess over the course of how long this campaign bonus lasts, if you log in during enough days, it'll add up to the 500 iris. And I'm sure you'll get many more of these types of bonuses during the actual 4th anniversary, because again, we'll be getting a lot of units when that 4th anniversary comes. So again, be careful with how much iris you're spending. And this is also super exciting, and it makes you wonder why it took so long. But Astrea and Erebus will be added to the Familia deity selection, so if you are in a Familia, you can now choose your patron god or goddess to be Astrea or Erebus, and this should be added with tomorrow's update. And the only thing that disappoints me is what happened to Astrea. Feels bad. Like, I know she's a non-canon character, technically, because she's from the movie, and it's specifically non-canon, but technically Artemis, the goddess, does exist, because she's actually low-key mentioned in volume 2 of the light novel. Like, it literally says there, like, Artemis, and even Athena, which is interesting, but it specifically says Artemis, so she does exist, even if it's not, like, specifically the movie version of Artemis. But again, it's just weird that Artemis is not like something you can select. But the Astrea Familia, that's a weird thing to say, but there's a Familia in DanMemo that's actually called Astrea Familia, like mine's called Church for You. I bet they're super happy about this as well. And of course, my Familia's patron goddess will now be Astrea, and I've been waiting for this forever. And this is another login bonus as we count down to the 4th anniversary. Basically, we're getting nice items every day, and they'll reveal what the next items are. But as you can see here, Ascension Fulna, Hero Light Mystic Bellows, and man, that starts in June, like 6/14. Like, weird that they're saying this now, because it's like it's weeks away before we start getting this stuff. And paid iris ads, I just have it here just to be like, hey, I did talk about this, but I'm not gonna push you guys to spend money on the game. I spent enough money the first year and the second year, and I will no longer be spending any money because I think I've given enough to the game in that regard. And War Game is going to go back up, and this will be the preliminary round for the Familia War Game, because this War Game will place your Familia into brackets, and then based on the results of the Familia War Game, if you are in the top 16 Familias, you will participate in another Master Familia War Game where the top 16 Familias will duke it out in tournament format, and the other Familias will be like placing like bets to see who wins and gets to the top, and we'll get various prizes based on that, so if you're interested in that. And of course, naturally, 7 Zone will be refreshed as it is every week with different elements to get your Ascension materials for your equipment. And that pretty much sums up everything from the latest DanMemo's stream leading into the 4th anniversary. Very excited to see like who this new character is that's hinting towards the actual 4th anniversary event. Like, I wonder when we're actually going to get that first teaser or PV for the 4th anniversary event. Like, I'm so interested in what it's actually going to be. Like, I really want it to be about the past, like Poseidon Familia possibly, with some Hera and Zeus Familia involvement. Like, anything involving the past with Zeus, Hera, or Poseidon Familia, anything like that would be really, really cool. Like, I've had my fill. I've eaten my fill with like the Ryu-centric anniversary event last year. Like, that was a super happy time of my life for me, because Astrea Wrecker, like, I'm finally getting the story I've always wanted with Astrea Familia. It was so awesome. And based on Omori's track record, I can't wait to see what he comes up with next, because I think he just surpasses himself every year when it comes to writing the anniversary stories. Like, I don't follow too many other authors in regards to their involvement in like their franchise's gacha game, but I think Omori Sensei is up there, like straight up writing these gigantic stories just for the mobile game, and it gets full voice acting, and because that's another unique thing that DanMemo does. So it's just so cool in that way, and it's fun to be excited about danmachi stuff again, because I've been burned a tiny bit by the 3rd season, and we're gonna be waiting a while for 4th season news. I think they announced it super early just to let us know it was happening, but we'll see when we get more Season 4 news, but for right now, we got the 4th anniversary event to look forward to, and then Volume 16 in July. So yeah, all this stuff happening tomorrow night, Anniversary Eve Heroic Trials, paid gacha, started the war games, and then as you can see here, the login bonuses will start the day after that as well. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to the 4th anniversary event as much as I am. I'm curious what you guys think it might be about. Who do you think this new character might be that will appear, like a completely original character, someone from Poseidon Familia like I'm hoping, or from Zeus or Hera, another character like that? Like, we'll just have to see. I'm excited to see what Mori has in store for us. And I wonder when that character is going to appear during this event, because we're getting like new quest every day, like new summary quest every day or so during this Memoirs event. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, but there'll be more videos to come over the course of this 4th anniversary, definitely. And I think I'll do a better job than I did last year when it comes to the anniversary coverage, but I was in the middle of panicking through all that, because like, oh god, I gotta upload these like season 2 like skipped content things, and it was a mess last year. But hopefully I'll be better about covering the 4th anniversary event. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you want to see more danmachi news or light novel stuff in general, go ahead and like the video, sub to the channel, follow me on Twitter, and join the Discord. And as always, continue enjoying your time adventuring in Mario and a dungeon. This is Lorne, your guild advisor, signing out.
風に揺らいでゆく鈍色の光照らす世界で今選ぼうその